All right, everybody should be good. We can see that.
Yep.
So just a little bit about myself. I am the school success manager here at Bark for Schools. So I work hand in hand with lots of our schools, helping them, navigate the dashboard and the system, and just, really utilize Bark, to its fullest abilities. I spent a couple years in the classroom as an elementary educator, and most of my career, I actually was in law enforcement for about 15 years. So, a little bit about my background and where I come from. So, if it would move forward, just a little bit about our agenda for today. I'm just going to give you a brief background on Bark for Schools, a little bit about our AI and how that works, logging into the system, and then we'll get in, to the details as far as your dashboard, some reporting that you can do, and then just reviewing those alerts, since that's what, I'm sure you all spend most of your time doing when it comes to Bark. Okay, so what does Bark for Schools do? We have that monitoring the accounts. So we monitor your G Suite and or 365. So with you guys, your Google Workspace, and we're looking at the student issued accounts for anything of concerning content. We're looking at the email, we're looking at chat if you have chat enabled, we're looking at Google Docs, and anything that they upload into their Drive.
Mm-hmm.
We also partner with parents. So we do have our families product as well that gives parents the ability to monitor their kids' cell phones and personal devices for any concerning content, as well as 30 different social media apps. We also have Parent Portal that allows the school, if that was a feature you wanted to utilize, you can share alerts with parents as well. And then we do offer filtering for web as well.
Just so you know, with the filtering for web, we also have, while the kids are in school, we use Fortinet to filter websites too. So while they're in school, there's sort of a 2-level for the websites at least too. So
awesome, very good. So what is Bark for Schools' mission? So really, we want to give every school in America a way to kind of help protect their students online, and we offer that at little to no cost. It was really a big thing for our CEO. Bark for Schools kind of came about after the Marjory Stoneman Douglas shooting here in Florida. He realized that, hey, I have this technology that I'm charging parents for on their kids, devices, but with just a couple of changes, I can offer this to all school districts, and I can offer it to them for free to help do everything that, we can as a company, and him as a person wanted to be able to provide something for schools to, give insights into what's going on in their student issued accounts, what's going on in their student body, and to help prevent, future tragedies. Okay, so how students use their school accounts, I'm sure you all know with looking at those alerts, they use it for journaling and chatting and cyberbullying and various things that are not necessarily school related. And that is where we come in, and where, Bark for Schools does assist with providing some insights into what's going on with your kiddos. Some information, regarding what, Bark for Schools had detected in 2020 from our annual report. Just some, instances up there for you, lots of statistics you can take a look at. And, it's kind of alarming and concerning that there are so many things going on with our kids. And really in 2020 and 2021, we've noticed a significant increase when it comes to mental health and violence in our student issued accounts, unfortunately. We do have those everyday online threats, self-harm, suicide being a really big one, violence also being a big one, and bullying and cyberbullying has increased with the more access that, students have and adults have, online. Everyone can pick up a phone, can pick up a computer, and, have access to anybody and anywhere at any time. which just increases all of these things. Okay, so how does Bark work? What does our AI do? It's actually pretty good and pretty robust. It's our industry leading machine learning technology. It analyzes context and not just those keywords. So it is looking for more of a contextual analysis on things. It does still pick up on some keywords, but it is looking at the context and how it is used. So it's a recurrent neural network, is trained to understand variations of slang. So it is constantly learning. Our data annotation team is labeling all of these things that come in. They're looking at different alerts, and the AI is constantly learning new teen slang. And since we're not just looking also at school issued accounts, since we also do have that parent side of it, and we're looking at all of the different social media accounts that kids are on, our data annotation team has one heck of a job when it comes to staying up with all of the different slang that comes up, and then training our AI to also learn that slang. So sometimes if you get an alert and you're like, I don't understand what this means, it could be that it's something new. It's new slang. It's a new term for, maybe self-harm or suicidal, as far as the references to pasta was really big, different things that have come up that kids use to try and hide these feelings and emotions. Our data annotation team and our AI is constantly learning those so that we can help protect the kids behind that. So if you ever do have a question with an alert, if you get an alert and you're like, I don't really understand why this was flagged, this doesn't seem like it should have been flagged, especially if it's a severe alert, you can always send that to our support team, and we will get back with you and let you know, like, hey, per our data annotation team, this means this, and this is why this was flagged. So if something ever comes up and you're not sure what it is, you can definitely send it over to us, and we'd be happy to look into it for you.
Yeah, I've done that quite a few times where, things either seem like they should have been flagged or shouldn't have been flagged. Or sometimes you'll see something and I thought it should have been more severe, and again, I just sent it off to them and they look at it. So they're good at getting back to you real quick about it too. So.
And that only helps us get better as well. So Appreciate that. Our AI does give students more privacy and not less. And the reasoning behind that is because we're not having humans look at every single piece of information. We believe in our AI. We do work hard to keep it updated. So it's actually looking at the majority of all of these alerts that are coming in. The AI is classifying it and sending those alerts off. Our human annotators do look at the severe issues and the most severe issues. They are looking at those to verify that they are that content, and then making sure that the AI got it right. But majority of the content and majority of those alerts are not even seen by humans. Most of it is seen by the AI, which does help protect that student privacy. And it does pick up on the emojis and slang, images. So images, including any text and writing that is on images within that image. It also will pick up on anything that is written or put into that image as well. Okay, so logging in, I'm sure that most of us are familiar with this. You would just go to bark.us/schools. You hit that login, and then you go to your Google Workspace. You choose your account, and it takes you directly to your dashboard. All right, so I'm going to switch over and go into your dashboard and show you some things in there. Before we get into the dashboard, is there any questions about any of the information that I just went over or anything that I said there? Alrighty. So on your dashboard, when you first log in, this main screen does give you some information regarding the entire school. So it will show you how many activities have been analyzed since Bark was turned on. So that's that 22 million. So 22 million activities have been looked at. That doesn't mean that's how many alerts you've gotten. That's just the activities that have been created. So whether it was a school assignment or, a kid being nasty to another kid, whatever it was, that's all the stuff that we actually looked at and analyzed. This number here is the alerts that are needing to be reviewed for your account. So there's currently just 48 of them. This light pink does mean that there's no severe alerts that currently need to be looked at. It means that there's just those non-severe alerts that are sitting in the dashboard. So that's good. If that was a bright red color, that would mean that there were severe alerts needing to be looked at. As we scroll down some more, this report just tells you where your alerts are coming from. So Chrome, Gmail, and Google Drive, and how many alerts, by day. So you can see that just briefly looking at this report, it looks like majority of your alerts do come from the Chrome monitoring extension that you have deployed. And then you scroll down a little further and it gives you just some brief reporting about the type of alerts, your total alerts, and your severe alerts for each one of those categories. And this is for a selected time frame. So if you wanted to change this time frame, you could come up here and edit that. You could get for 7 days. It has some preset ranges in there, and you can always do a custom range too. So if you wanted to look at year by year, what is that looking like? You could always do that custom range and gather that data as well. Scroll down some more, it gives you that same information that as far as total alerts and severe alerts, it's going to give you that by organizational unit. Now, this will only show for the organizational units that each reviewer is assigned to. So if you won't have all of these on your account, but it will just show the ones that you're assigned to. And it'll give you a breakdown for total alerts and severe alerts.
Right. So this is the view I see when I log in, because I can look at everybody's. But again, for example, for Drew, you would only see the ones for St. John the Baptist. So your list will be much smaller and a little more concise.
And then you can directly on this list, if you wanted to get some reporting based upon that organizational unit, you can click directly into that organizational unit from this page, and it's going to pull up some information for this specific organizational unit. Again, you have this date range that you can customize and change to whatever you'd like. It's going to give you information as far as how many activities were analyzed for this particular organizational unit, how many alerts have been detected for that time frame. Again, it's going to give you the reporting on where those alerts are coming from. So Chrome is a big one for this particular organizational unit. And then it's going to give you a list of students, how many alerts they have generated, and if any severe alerts have been generated. And then also it gives you an alert type breakdown on the right-hand side. So you can see with this organizational unit, this group of kiddos, the most alerts that have been generated revolve around self-harm or suicidal content. Any questions on this particular page?
Yeah, this is a nice page where you can, like you said, you can see what the most severe issues are. Plus, you can kind of see which kids are maybe less behaving, I guess, whatever you want to call it, because you'll see those as you review them.
Yeah. Yep.
If anyone is overall worried about the mental health of my students, they've been researching suicide and bullying. So that's why so many pings lately in that area. Good times.
Oh, ours have been too. And I always love that. You just get 20 emails.
Like a mass amount, and you're like, oh my, what is happening on the internet today? And you're like, okay, never mind. You're all
I had
one grade level in a certain period of the day, and
a teacher must have been there must have been a true or false question or something about how St. Paul died, and they all were searching, was St. Paul stoned? Got some drug quotes.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
Sometimes religion classes get a lot of wine, alcohol.
Yep.
I just looked right now. I had 7 alerts for, they were searching original nakedness, must have been a term in theology today. So
good. It's good times.
But see, that's nice where you can say, okay, it's your 8th grade class that's doing that. You can search down on that and then, be very, very specific.
It's also
I'm sure
nice.
Rhonda will show you that later when you're reviewing stuff too. You can do the same thing and get down to that same level and say, okay, I just want to look at the ones from my 8th grade. And you'll see they're all, suicide or whatever subject they're dealing with, and you can kind of go through them quicker.
And then it's also nice. It shows you that they're working. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
So we will go to that review alerts. We'll focus in on that page now. Once you're in this, you do have those different filters, right? So you can search by type, so a particular type. And if you just say you did search, your self-harm or suicidal content, and you just want to see those ones that do need to be reviewed, and you would just filter that. And then it's only going to show any alerts that need to be reviewed for self-harm, suicidal content. It's not going to show any other subject as far as it. I mean, it might have flagged for multiple things, but it's all going to be alerts that have to do with self-harm or suicidal content. Real quick, while I'm on here, this is going to show you, the ones that haven't been reviewed. They will have that red dot up in that left-hand corner. So that's how you can see just offhand, like, okay, I know this one hasn't been reviewed because it has that red dot up there.
Mm-hmm. But you filtered it on just needs reviewed too, though, right?
I did, yes. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, so if you check the needs review and reviewed, it's going to show you all of those.
Yep.
Which is going to be a lot, probably.
Right.
Because I didn't filter out the group. So that's going to be for all the school.
So again, like I said, you can do the suicide and pick a class,
Mm-hmm.
and then really get down and say, yeah, they're all because, of whatever reason. So, because we had a unit on it, right?
Yep. So you could do, a particular alert type. You could do a particular group as well. You could even add a student, and you can even add an account. So, okay, maybe they're doing a lot of searches, or I'm getting a bunch of alerts for searches. So I'm just going to look at Chrome. And then, you can also do it by a date range. So if it's a particular date that, hey, I'm getting a bunch of these, so I want to look at, whatever that date range is. We'll just do last 7 days. And then you filter that out, and it'll drill down, and there's none.
You filtered too far.
None. So none in the last 7 days in this particular group on Chrome. But it does help you, if you are seeing where, okay, I've gotten a bunch of emails, they're obviously researching something, I can drill down. And then when say that it was to pop up, or if something was to pop up, let's see if I take Chrome away. Oh, goodness. If you know that all these alerts are, in regards to that multiple email that you got, you could hit mark all reviewed, and then it's going to clear all those out for you so that you don't have to look at every single one. If you want to double check just to make sure, you could always click into that and look at every single one so that, you know that there's nothing that you missed as far as it being something serious.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you are in there looking at alerts, you can go, right from one to the next one. So you can just do next. So that's another way you can just kind of get through them real quick. And if you notice if it's the same one or not. And we'll just look at another alert real quick. And then within the alerts, you can, share it with the additional reviewer as long as that reviewer is assigned to that organizational unit that you are assigned as well. New feature that just recently came out. I don't know if you guys have noticed it or not, but if you see here, it does show you that first person that reviewed it. It now has this more. So if you select more, a pop-up will appear, and it's going to give you some additional information. So when the alert was created by the student, when it was detected by BARC, and then when it was reviewed. Say Carl had shared this with an additional reviewer, it will also show that information as well.
Okay.
So it will give you additional information as far as who shared it and where it was shared and who it was shared with. So it'll give you a drill down of all of that information. Do you all use